Good morning and good morning. This is Pigsy doing another video. This is going to touch upon the old alien topic. I would come to a conclusion yesterday. Well, basically I watched a documentary and it had about this chap who ran into a bunch of aliens sort of during war times, so it's sort of like 1940. So he bumped into a group and these greys had a device that looked like sort of a long stick or a bit like a remote or a wand even. It's like a really small wand, but they used this device to basically it made people go docile. So it kind of, I would call it like a nebulizer, because it affects people's brains and it puts them in sort of this relaxed state or changes their behaviour. So it's almost like you know, like Doctor Who and his sonic screwdriver or something like that. So so basically, yeah, this device appears that it was used, basically, there was a dog that was acting aggressive and it was used to sort of neutralise its behaviour and sort of make it all calm. And this chap goes into his documentary and he mentions about that. He feels that this device has been used for sort of when there's abductions or any sort of they need to examine, say, children and so on, or even adults. It calms them down by sort of affecting their brainwaves. So it's not just used on animals; it's used on people as well. So I was thinking through that, and I was also thinking through a picture I took a while back of this this being, and it had a device in its hand like a gun. So I thought, well, what's that? Is that something to put basically to put implants into people? So I was wondering if that might have been going on in sort of a etherical sort of method. But it quite possibly could tie in with this device that's used to sort of basically put people in a sort of paralysed state or knock them out in some way. But I was thinking about that, is that sometimes, I mean, I from my own experience, is that if you see interdimensionals, like sensors movement around you, you see bits of shadows or things, even things going on, moving around in your flat, like you suddenly hear something rattling around in the fridge or somewhere else, it usually means you're probably not alone. So I was having a chat with a neighbour and he pretty much sort of, well, basically he collaborated what I already know, and he was saying at night about hearing lot of like slight scratching noises, like something rubbing against the zip. So sort of like something's inspecting things in his flat. And I said, well, if it was a ghost, why would a ghost be interested? You know, what a pencil case's zip's like, or sort of scratching, making sort of scratching noise on the wall, or doing something. He hasn't got rats in it, it's a block of flats, but it was said that in the past this place possibly is haunted, but I think it's more alien activity. Yeah, I mean, yes, people have died in this place, but I sort of, with my picture I took, I seem to feel that's a bit more concrete evidence of a bit more than just apparition. So the connection I made yesterday is sometimes people come home, okay, and they sit down, and maybe they are truly knackered and they just want to fall asleep in their armchair. And last night I sort of noticed some sort of activity, you know, like sort of seeing shadows or seeing things moving around a bit. I think that's weird. But then I started to get quite tired. So tiredness sort of came over me, and my thoughts and connection is that possibly they are interdimensionally sort of, they're turning up in your property. They're using this device to knock you out so you feel sleepy or tired, or you go asleep, and then they can do what they like to you because they've knocked you out. I mean, when you're sat in an armchair, suddenly you wake up and you think, well, what happened? I mean, you probably all had that. You didn't have the signs that your eyes started to drift and then you started to daydream and then you were gone. It was just like you suddenly wake up and you're sort of like, oh, I'm still in my armchair. You know, oh, what's happened here? I must get to bed. So it's very weird when that sort of happens. So I'm wondering why, possibly in the daytime, is that sometimes people just get sort of get almost like knocked out. This sensation comes over them of being extremely tired, and they're just sat in an armchair. And it's not because the room's really hot and stuff like that. And also, if it coincides with other activity you're picking up, like I say, if you notice something's there, or you have a feeling that something might be in the room with you, but it doesn't really bother you because you've seen it all before, sort of stuff, you know, because that sometimes becomes a sort of common thread. If you've had one paranormal experience, you might have a couple, or it may be that where you live, you're not really surprised as long as nothing harms you. You just don't mind really. So that's the bit of nugget of information I want to share is possibly where people are getting visited by things, and so it's maybe a lot more common than you realise. They turn up in a sort of cloaked interdimensional format. They use a device to make somebody go docile or sleep. So if they get tired, they go sleep, and then they can do their examinations for whatever they're looking for, genetics or of that person. And then it's almost like you tranquilised an animal in the wild. You've done what you need to do, tagged them or whatever. Because interdimensionally they might be able to put a chip inside you, or they may be taking a sample of you in some way, and then you just let them wake up on their own accord and see how they behave. So, and then once they're doing what they normally do, like watch TV if you're a human, or surf the internet, or go out or something, then they pretty much know that what they've done is in place, and they can just sort of monitor you from that point. So that's the thoughts. Anyway, this is Pigsy signing out, and thanks for listening to me.